Alrighty, boys and girls. Okay, so some stuff in the news for trucking. It seems to have been a fairly common topic here, and that's in regards to e-logs. A lot of people still up in arms in regards to that, and I guess FMCSA decided to pass a ruling on the December 10th. The final rule was mandated that, and they didn't give an actual date of when it needed to be done by, but the use of electronic logs in all 2000 and newer trucks in interstate commerce. Just so everyone knows, because it's not over yet, on the 11th, OOIDA filed a petition for review with the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 7th Circuit. So in other words, it's going to court. So OOIDA is going to sue the FMCSA and bring this thing and challenging the decision in court. So guys, it's not over yet. I don't have an issue with electronic logs. I like electronic logs, but I am, and I don't see why everyone else has a problem with it, but in some ends I can. It's a personal thing. I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to start any kind of arguments or anything like that. But I can understand, or I believe, one of the things I believe is it should be a choice for the companies out there. They should have the choice as to whether they want to run paper logs or whether they want to run electronic logs. Plain and simple. The electronic logs should only be used for a company's personal reasons, as far as not having a huge paper trail, etc., or I don't know, for whatever reason, doesn't matter. It's really not that important as to why a company wants to do it, but I still think it should be a personal decision. Now, here on the flip side, and this is due to maybe a lack of information or whatever, it doesn't really matter, but think of it this way. If everyone were to be on electronic logs, what would happen is there'd be a lot of stuff that may not get delivered, because let's face it, you guys on paper logs, you fudge. We're just going to call it fudging. Some downright lie on their logs. It doesn't really matter. It's not the point. A lot of guys do what they have to do to get the load to where it needs to be. Do extra. I don't even want to hear any comments in regards to, oh, well, I sat at the shipper for 6-7 hours, whatever. That's not the point of what I'm trying to say here. It doesn't really matter. What would happen is a lot of stuff would not get delivered on time. A lot of stuff would not get picked up on time. For whatever reason, shit would be late. So just maybe, if everyone were on e-logs, maybe it would force the pays to go up. Maybe it would force rates to go up. Maybe it would force shippers, when they realize their shit ain't getting delivered on time, and that their customers are saying, F you, we're going to go somewhere else, and companies and shippers are losing customers, maybe when they say you have a 7 a.m. appointment, they actually load you at 7. Now, wouldn't that be a surprise, huh? For some places that take 6 to 10 hours to load you when you get there. Oh yeah, you got a 7 a.m. appointment, or whatever time it may be, you show up on time, and you sit there. If you're 5 minutes late for that appointment, well, you're screwed. We can't load you now. Come back tomorrow or the next day or whatever. Rebook your appointment. But, you're on time. That's fine. They can take their sweet ass time to load you. So just maybe e-logs would have an effect on this. Think about it. If you're on e-logs, okay, a lot of guys can say, oh, well, I'm out of hours, I can't move from your lot. No, technically, you're on private property. They can call the cops and have you removed. That's fine. It's not like your truck's going to blow up if you move it. But you pull off the lot, you park. Whereas a lot of guys on paper logs would just, whatever. We won't get into that, the details of that. But, still manage. E-logs, you just go park your ass and do your break and then get up and go. And if your company kibitzes, you just tell them, hey, well, not my freaking fault. You're the one that wanted e-logs. Now the load's late. Whatever. Deal with it. Fix it. Do what you got to do. So there could be some positive sides to it. I know there's a lot of people that are totally against it. OOIDA's against it. But really, think about it. If every single truck out there was on e-logs, what would it do to freight rates? What would it do to driver pay? Would it get to the point where they'd A, have to increase driver pay, and B, shippers would actually have to clean up their frickin' act? That's my thinking. I could be wrong. I've been wrong in the past, but that's not the point. Let's not have any comments or discussion in regards to, you know, the small nitty-gritty stuff. Let's just talk about what it would do for shippers and drivers' pay, possibly. Do you think that, if you think about it, if every single truck out there, I know the truck's, you know, older than 2000, but there's not a whole lot of them out there, let's face it, guys. Most of them are 2000 and newer. There is a small handful that are older, yes, but a lot of them are newer. But anyway, if the majority of trucks were on e-logs, would that not force shippers to clean up their frickin' act because their shit won't get delivered on time or for their stupid timelines because they took 6 or 7 hours to load the truck? Think about it. What do you think? Alright, I didn't have much for today's vlog. Just throwing that out there. So guys, don't get your panties in an uproar. OOIDA is taking FMCSA to court. So that ruling that is supposedly final may not be so final. So, and it's a couple years away anyways. I think it was mandated for 2017 or whatever. So lots of time for that shit to change. We've seen it happen before. Just because they say it's a final ruling now, a year and a half from now, it may not be so final. Anyway, we'll see you in tomorrow's video.